So again, my name is Amber. I've been your host all week. A little bit more about myself. I have a background, almost 20 years now, in secondary and post-secondary education, as well as in business. And play attention has really been an integral part of both of those areas of my career. Reaching out to individuals and helping them build their play attention business, but also using it in the education forum, right? Really helping students, teens, and adults really reach the goals that they're looking for. And so let's kind of just wrap up today. Again, Friday, we're at the very last day, question and answer. So again, I broke up the question and answer in different sections, kind of based on what I was seeing. So the very first group of questions we're going to cover is getting started. So I had some questions associated with, okay, getting started, what next steps look like, all of those different pieces. So number one of the questions I received is there funding available for me to start or expand my business, right? So we talked about getting started, but we also talked about that expansion. There are funds available. So a couple options that you have is obviously going the route of a small business loan that's available for you. We have seen lately there has been grant money associated with women-owned business, women and minority-owned businesses. You can generally find that information either through the Small Business Administration website or your local community college. That is a really great resource that a lot of individuals don't even think about, but most community colleges, local community colleges, will have a small business department. Sometimes it's tied with their workforce development, sometimes it's tied with their continuing ed department, but they're there to help you with business plans, but they're also there to help you find funding. So that is something that you'll want to look into. So both of those are there available for you, whether you're starting or growing, because we've had both. I've had individuals use grant funds for women-owned business to get started, as well as to expand their business. Now, sometimes when we talk about those grants, there is a match. Most grants, there is some kind of buy-in that you'll need to put up. So some of them are half, some of them are a quarter. It just depends on what you're doing. But most of the time I see individual grants are looking for half when we're talking about those ones specifically. However, there's also another option that you can use as well, and it's Affirm. So it's been almost a year now. Play Attention partnered with a company called Affirm, and Affirm allows you a payment plan option. So you are able to either start your business or grow your business through by using Affirm. And what Affirm will do is it will look at your credit. There'll be a pre-qualification piece, and it will give you a 3-month, 6-month, 9-month, or 12-month option for paying back the cost of the product that you are purchasing. So that is available. We use that obviously a lot with our home clients, but is available for our professional clients as well. Now, there is a caveat to that. It is only available right now for US, in the US. So you have to be located in the US to use Affirm. Another option that we've had individuals use in the past is you can also use PayPal credit. That will break it down in monthly fees for you as well. I believe that one is associated only to the US, but you'll have to look at PayPal specifically. So those are some different options that you have available if you're looking for funding as we move forward. So can I start with the professional system or in-office iLab and then expand to distance? So remember, we talked a lot about the iLab yesterday. And yeah, you have a lot of options to get started when you're looking at using Play Attention professionally. We have individuals start out with the home program. So our home program has 2 user licenses, so you can use it with 2 individuals. And then they upgrade to the professional system. So a couple options if you start with that home and you upgrade would be you purchase the home program, you're ready to go to that professional, you pay the difference in cost, it's $700, you pay that. Now you have the unlimited user licenses. Or remember, our user licenses can always be purchased one at a time. So those are $50 a piece. So if you want to buy a third one, $50 a fourth one, Once you purchase 14 user licenses, which is the $700, that will automatically unlock that system for you, that professional system. So that's a little bit different than what the question is, but that is something that is there and it's available. Now, with a home system, you can't do the iLab or the certified provider, but it does give you an option to get started, right? Start working that one-on-one. Now, you can start with the professional system and then upgrade to iLab, right? So when we talked yesterday, you can always start with that professional system. You can use that one-to-one for a while. And then when you're ready to upgrade to iLab, you have options, right? So you can do iLab in office. Remember, that's that group training. You have that availability. And then you can expand to that distance training. So yes, you have all of those options available. And remember, if you still have some clients that like coming into the office and you're still offering that, you can do that group training alongside that distance training as long as you have those student stations available for all of the clients that you're working with. So definitely a really great option. You start with that professional system. You can start with in-office iLab, and you can always expand to that distance learning or distance training, depending on what that model looks like for you. So lots of options available. Many times our schools will start with the one-to-one, and after a year of data, it's very easy for them to expand because they can show their administration, look at the great data we have, look at the successes we've had, and then they're able to move forward with that. So a great option for you. How long will it take me to get up and running if I do the pro system with the certified provider package? I'm a clinical psychologist. Really, it's a pretty quick turnaround. So when you start as a, when you start with the Play Attention program as a professional, once we process that, it takes about 7 to 10 days for your system to process, us to get all of the pieces together and for it to ship out. And then, but in the time that we're processing everything and it's getting ready for shipment, you can download your software. You can do your initial training with your executive functions coach. So you can get that training. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. There was some questions associated with the training and with the coach. So know that that's coming for you so that you've downloaded, you've had your training. So when your equipment comes in the mail, you just do that final communications test and you're ready to see clients. As for the certified provider package, there is a contract that's associated with that. So once you purchase that, the contract will come out, you'll sign that. That's just, 24, 48 hours. And it really depends on how quickly you get that back to us. Once that contract comes back to us and you make your payment, you have access immediately to your certified provider materials. So remember, you get that group of materials that I showed you earlier in the week, that portal where you're getting your business guidance, your marketing guidance, your lead generator guidance, your key performance indicators, all of those pieces are there and available for you. And then you're also getting that monthly content. You get 2 months at a time that's available to you in the portal. So like right now in the portal, our July and August is there and available. And then next month, our August and September. So you have that there and accessible. So it's a pretty quick turnaround. So if you start your process at the beginning of the month, very much by the end of the month, you can be there seeing clients, especially if you're implementing this in a business that's already established and you already have that clientele. Okay, so let's see here. Can I have other support staff work with clients during a session, or does the person working with Play Attention have to have specific certification? Yes, you can have support staff do the training with your clients. No, a special certification is not required for Play Attention. Remember that artificial intelligence is built into the program, and that makes it very user friendly. You'll go in and you'll set up your clients, you'll determine their training plans, and then you can have any of your support staff work directly with those clients. And so that really will free you up depending on what that model looks like for you. So you can have a client come in, do the training, come to you. Maybe if you're doing some other OT with them or you're doing some counseling with them, then they can come in and see you while another client's working with your support staff. And so kind of allowing you to expand a little bit on, again, the number of individuals you're working with and seeing. I even have in schools, I will have volunteer parents come in and work with the students for the school district. So there's a lot of opportunity there. So it is a very user-friendly program. So no certification is necessary. And yes, you can have support staff working directly with your clients. So that was, let me just make sure, let me go back, and I just want to make sure that was the last question. Okay. So that was the last question I had around startup. If I did not address a question that maybe you had about getting started, please go ahead and type that in the chat box. I'll leave some time at the end. We'll have plenty of time for me to cover any additional questions. Now I had some questions on training specifically, especially for using that support staff, right? As well as focus. So I kind of combined those two together. So number one was, how does the executive function coach help us? So that is a really great question, because you do have that executive functions coach available to you for as long as you use Play Attention. That support is unlimited. So what that looks like is, initially the coach will help you in training you on how to use the system. So they're going to do an hour and a half training with you to help you understand how to use the program. They'll ensure your software is downloaded correctly. They'll go through how you set up a student. They'll talk through the different modules we have available. You can go through a practice session with your executive functions coach, so you're completely comfortable using the program. But again, I'm going to tell you, the software is very, very user friendly. And then that coach is there to support you as you go through. So if you have questions about a specific client, you can, reach out and get some feedback from your coach on, because you got to remember, our executive function coaches are also working with home clients. So they're used to working one-on-one with clients, but they're also used to working with our professionals. So your coach will have familiarity with both, right? So they'll be able to answer questions. Okay, I have this client, they're kind of experiencing this. What might be a good solution for me? They can also look at data, review data for you. So if you have a client and you want to look at their data and you need some additional eyes on it, or you want a progress review on it, they can provide that information for you as well. So they're there to support you, support your program as you go through. Now, if you are a certified provider, you will obviously have a executive function coach for your Play Attention and for the way the Play Attention is operating, but you will have a specific individual working with you directly on the business aspect of it as well. So you'll actually have two support individuals when we're talking about that. I know that didn't hit that, but I wanted to make that clarification. Then there was a follow-up question on this is, okay, is staff training included? So that specifically is relating back to that. Can my support staff do the Play Attention? And then what kind of training do they receive? So when you have that initial, it's called a tutorial with your executive functions coach, anyone that you think will be doing the Play Attention system or program, or that needs knowledge of the Play Attention program, needs to attend that training. And they don't set that. I mean, they reach out to you to help you set that up, but it's something that you are scheduling when it works well for you. So it gives you the opportunity to identify what staff may be working on your Play Attention program, and then getting you all together so you can all attend that training at one time, so everybody's on that same page. And if you have a staff that's working primarily with Play Attention, they're more than welcome to reach out to that coach as well with questions. So that's very common. I'll have a business owner purchase Play Attention, but they have a support staff that generally will run the program. So know that that is available to them as well. So now it kind of transitions from the training into focus and focus train specifically. So how do I start the accreditation for focus? So if you're interested in becoming a focus accredited professional, remember you don't have to be a certified provider. You do have to be a professional. And then if you want to start the accreditation for focus, the cost on that is $800. That will pay for your accreditation. It's a one-time fee, so you do not have to renew it or pay any additional fees for that. Once you purchase the accreditation to become focus accreditation, you will get self-taught material. Okay, so self-guided. So you will be provided material on the focus the focus assessment, the background, how to read it, how to do all of those pieces. So you'll get all of the study materials, and it's self-paced. Generally, it's about 10 to 12 hours about of training for you to review. So I have individuals get it done in a long weekend, right? Or just really buckle down and do it over a weekend. That's completely up to you because it's self-paced. We don't time it, we don't set it, but once you complete that study material, then there is a test that you'll take. Once you take that test, you're up and running and you're ready to use that focus assessment. Now, remember, every assessment that you do, you'll have to have a test credit. So every assessment that you provide to a client, you have to have a test credit. Those test credits are $25 a piece. What we pay here, it's the wholesale cost of them. Now, granted, you can charge $50 for that assessment if you'd like to help offset that cost. You can offer it at half price and just get the exact cost of it at $25. You can offer it for free. There's a lot of opportunity for that, but you will need to have those test credits. So generally how they get started is they will purchase the accreditation, they'll study, they'll take the test, they'll become certified, and then they'll purchase test credits. So they have them there in their dashboard, they're ready to go. Because you, as I showed you in the day we talked about focus, you'll go right in, you'll put your client in, you'll put all of their information in, you'll get that assessment, and then those results will come back to you. And so this is kind of that follow-up. I thought this was the follow-up question. How long will it take me to do the training? And like I said, about 10 to 12 hours. Some people it takes a little bit less. It just depends on how quickly you can process information, and kind of what that schedule looks like. But it's not months and months. It definitely can be done over the weekend, maybe in the evening over a week. So definitely something that's very attainable. So now the questions I have are related to fees associated with play attention. So just providing a little bit more information on those fees. Again, if I have not addressed your question or I've sparked another question, please go ahead and type those in the chat box. We'll have time at the end for me to address any of those questions that we might have as well. So can I cover the cost breakdown of what to charge? Does play attention regulate that? So we discussed a little bit about this in the focus, as well as when we discussed kind of the breakdown on return on investment yesterday. And play attention does not regulate your costs. It's your business. You're able to do those costs how you want to do the costs. Now, I can put some averages around those costs to kind of give you an idea of what that looks like, but we don't regulate the cost. And so that will be because we have such a variety of different clients that cost, their value added that they're putting in is different than someone else, right? So maybe they're doing a therapy session in conjunction with that. Maybe they're doing tutoring in conjunction with that. Maybe this is an add-on piece. And so those costs look different for different individuals. And that's why we don't regulate that. Now, when we talk about a play attention session, right? So remember, most of our professionals will do 2 sessions a week. Because remember, we're working for that hour of training every single week. And we generally don't like to do more than 30 minutes at a time because that can be a little bit overwhelming for them. So we start off with 2 30-minute sessions. Now, remember, when we talked about iLab, you have the opportunity for them to do that independent training. So there wouldn't be any cost associated with that if they were doing that distance training, but that's a little bit different. So for our professionals that are actually seeing clients, whether it's virtually or they're actually in person, we see around $50 a session is what the payment is. Now, I do have some individuals that do 30, some that do 40. I have some that do a little bit higher than 50, but that average is $50 per session. So they are paying $100 a week to do the play attention system, right? Again, when we start talking about the assessments, I kind of see a variety of that. You're paying $25 per assessment, so that's up to you. Are you offering it for free to generate leads? Are you offering it at $25 just to get the cost back? So you're basically turning that cost over to the client, or are you charging $50, which is what our assessments cost here? So we're paying for the time of our personnel to review those. Because remember, with that assessment, there's about a 30 to 40-minute review that's going to go along with the individual doing that assessment. So if they're doing those assessments right there in the office with you, most likely they're taking up about an hour of your time, give or take, because the assessment's going to be 20 minutes and then anywhere between 30 and 40 minutes to review those assessments. So again, we're really close to that hour. So thinking about that, again, what is that conversion that I need? What are those numbers that I need to continue to sustain what I'm doing in my business? Are there ongoing license fee with the Pro system or iLab? So with our Pro system or our iLab system, there is no additional licensing fee associated with that. It's a one-time fee. Once you own it, once you purchase it, that's your program to keep and use as long as you like. So there's no subscription to that. The only ongoing fee that we have in any of the Play Attention products is our certified provider. And remember, that's $50 a month because you're getting those new materials every month. And I think that's going to be my next question that I have. But there are no ongoing licensing fee. And then remind me, I thought it was the next one in putting this together. The $50 a month. So as I mentioned, the only continual fee that we have for any of the Play Attention programs that we're offering right now is in that $50 a month for the certified provider. And that is because every single month we are providing you brand new marketing materials associated with a theme or a topic. So you will get graphics to use for social media, to use for websites, to use for flyers. They're graphics, professionally done graphics. You'll get graphics so that graphics for all different markets. So you'll get graphics that are going to be associated with children. If you're working with children, you'll get graphics associated with teens, young adults. If that's your market group, you'll also get graphics with adults as well. So we're not just providing you one, because even if we're talking about reading comprehension, traditionally we think that is a little bit more of a child or working with children or elementary, but that is something that does affect adults as well. So marketing to them as well, still very, very effective. So you'll receive those graphics. And remember, we talked Monday, you can drop those right into Canva, put your business in there, and they're ready to use. Additionally, you will receive an ebook and a webinar with a script associated with that ebook. So it will be a webinar based on that topic, so reading comprehension, and you'll have an ebook associated with that. So again, lots of different ways to generate those leads to connect with that quality content with your clients. So for just $50 a month, you're getting that material every single month, and it's all brand new, and it's what we're using here. So it's very high quality materials that you're getting every month. So that's what the $50 every month will be going towards. Okay. Websites and town halls. So I got this question, what if I don't have a website or social media? That's not a problem. We recommend at least a website, right? We recommend at least a website because it provides your company, showing your company as a legitimate company. A website, there are so many different options now, very low cost options that you can do a website with. You don't have to hire a website developer right off the bat. Now, granted, if you really start growing and expanding, that might be a cost that's worth your time, right? To go ahead and hire somebody to do that, a web developer. But there are many, many different website options available where they're drag and drop, right? You create the website, you can pay for a domain name. It will host that domain name for you, and you can just drag and drop different pieces in there. When you become a certified provider, we go through those different pieces. So if you're like, I really want to do this, I don't even know how to get started, a certified provider is a great option for you because that's going to help you build all of that. Not only are we going to discuss different options for you when we start talking about a website and building that and developing that, but also social media. Social media is a place that individuals also go to see if the business, see what comments are on there, how often they're engaging with their clients. I mean, social media is just a part of our society. Now, with that being said, there are many, many different platforms that you can use. So my recommendation is always, well, the recommendation when we talk about marketing, if you attend any marketing that's associated with social media, the recommendation will always be don't pick more than two platforms to start with, because you want to do those two platforms really, really well. And if you're not very familiar with social media, you might want to just start with one. And there are tons of marketing and webinars and videos on how to do that. But what you'll want to do is you will want to determine, where are your clientele? What platform are they using? Are you working with a generation? We know that generally an older generation is still very active on Facebook, and they're active in Facebook and Facebook groups. We talked about that a lot on day 2 this week in workshop 2. However, we know there's a younger generation that's more in tune to Instagram, TikTok, right? We see a lot kind of across generations. TikTok is being available. However, it's very short, right? And so you have to be very focused and very direct in what you are offering and providing. So this is a time where, again, we need to do the research. We need to determine where are our clientele. And then that's where we need to create social media around that. So it's easy to find them. It's easy to work through that as we go. Okay. So just because you don't have that's not a make or break. You can start and build those as you go. However, again, that's the benefit of the certified provider program. We walk you through both of those pieces. Since we do use both of those pieces and we use them a lot, we provide you a lot of guidance in that area. How do you create and execute a town hall or a face-to-face event? So many individuals are starting to look back at inviting people back in, especially because Play Attention initially is designed to do that face-to-face, and working with individuals that are not yet your clients and having that face-to-face with them and actually showing them how the program works and having them even test it out is a great strategy, because they're actively doing it. They actively see that they're using their attention, and it's very powerful. So a town hall or a face-to-face event is very effective. Now, what you'll need to do, there are some things that are, you'll have to think through on when you're getting ready to host an event. And I think I always start first with, what is my objective for this event? Is my objective to bring in 5 new clients? If my objective is to bring in 5 new clients, who are those clients, right? And where are they located at? Are they students? Are they professionals? Are they families? What does that look like? Who is the group that I'm targeting? And then create events associated around them. So if maybe I'm looking for families, maybe I host a family event, right? A little, fun family picnic, or a carnival, or, something that, I'm not talking rides or anything, but just they have, different things there that children can do, right? Maybe I want to work with adults. Okay, I'm going to have events for these adults that maybe are effective for them. So maybe I offer a mindfulness class there. I offer because remember, when we're talking about Play Attention, our Lotus module is a great module for helping individuals with mindfulness. So that would be a great showcase for you in that environment. So first you need to determine, what is your objective, right? What are you trying to gain out of this? Is it just people getting to know you? Is it actually securing clients? What does that look like for you? And then who are those clients? Because we need to create an event around that. And then we need to look at our lead versus our sales conversion, right? Do I need to talk to 20 people to sign one, right? Okay, if that's my average in my conversion, then I need to make sure I make this event as big as possible, right? Because it takes a lot of connecting with people, right? No, maybe my conversion is a lot easier than that. Maybe out of 5 people, I sign 1, right? So then it can be a little bit smaller event. You can host it. If you have a clinic, it would be great to host it there, because you would be able to showcase what you have available. I would also obviously, in the event things that you're having, you're obviously going to want to showcase and highlight play attention. So obviously, little tchotchke things bring people in, but we want them to see what we're doing. We want them to test them out. We want them to try it. Um, Another option would be if you're working with, if you're looking for families, do a homework, a homework event. Does your child struggle with homework? Let's bring them in and we'll talk a little bit more about those. So there's a lot of different options when we're trying to reach and marketing those people. I've done numerous different things in the past. I've done personal invitations where I've hit businesses. Personally, I've written up a handwritten invitation and went to that business. And sometimes it's hard to get past the gatekeeper, but if I can connect with a decision maker there, invite them. Oftentimes what we will do is host a, before the pandemic, host a lunch and learn, right, to bring people actually in, and have that conversation, offer them lunch, and work with those, to show them play attention. You can do a mass mailing. That gets a little expensive. I've done that in the past before for events. Just done a big mass mailing, flyer type of mailing. Postcards usually aren't too expensive, but a lot of people will throw their mail out right away, right? There's a lot of junk mail. If you've got this is again where you reach out to your email list, right? If you have a great email list, send out an email invite. You can always create invites on Facebook, on social media. You are going to want to hit your social media a lot to invite people. And the one great thing, when we're talking about event specific in Facebook, is they can say, I'm going, right? I'm going to this, or I'm thinking about it. And they can share it and can go on the, Facebook calendar. So I see that Jane is going to this event on this day, and I can learn more about that, right? So that is a great way. So those are some different options if you're thinking of a town hall face to face. If you want to connect with businesses, obviously going to look a little bit different on what you provide. So, if you need more specifics about that, we can always chat a little bit again about that. But that is some options you have when you're trying to engage, trying to work with individuals. Again, thank you so much for attending. We appreciate your time. We appreciate you sticking with us all week to learn more about play attention and how you can grow your business. I really do appreciate it. And so if you need anything from us, please reach out. We're here to help you. We're here to support. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much and take care.